touching you, your breasts, your whatever. He's going to tell his friends. They're going to know. You have to be prepared for that. At the end of the conversation, I said, ultimately, the choice is yours. I wanted to give her some power as a woman, as a girl, but ultimately a woman. And this was hard for me to do. This doesn't come natural. As I was doing this, I felt the pull in my heart, like, no, you should just say, don't. No.
Uh-huh.
So these are the things I struggle with. I want to be the other parent. So I said, look, ultimately, the choice is yours. You have to make the choice for yourself.
And how did that go? What did she say?
She didn't really give me much response, which she usually doesn't when we're talking about these things. She just kind of listens. Maybe she blocks some out, She doesn't really talk to me when we're I think because she feels uncomfortable with it. I feel uncomfortable with it, but it's necessary, So she didn't really give me much response, but like I said, I wanted to extend to her the reality that she has the power as the woman, because I'm raising girls here, and I've been a guy that has taken advantage of girls and women. That hasn't been like nothing illegal or anything. I hope that didn't come across like that, but just have been the horrible boyfriend. Has been the guy that hasn't taken my girlfriend's feelings into consideration. Sometimes I still fall short, but not with ill intent, just because I fall short sometimes. But I want them to be strong women. I want them to know that they have the power, that they don't need to be under the spell of anyone, that they have the power. They get to choose.
Okay,
so that's the approach I took.
With this guy, with this kid that your daughter's in this, she's interested in dating.
Yeah.
Is she, do you more so want him to fear you, or for him to just know that she has a father that is there if anything happens? Or do you want him to fear you?
No, it's the latter. I just want him to know that she has a father that's there. Like I said, I don't want to meet with him and intimidate him in any way. That's not even in my character to do so. I'd really have to put on a false facade to pull that off. But no, I just want, it's basically that. I just want, number one, I feel like it's my responsibility to at least sit down and, have a more than just, hi, how are you doing? Like we did at the bowling alley, because we didn't talk or anything. It was just like an introduction. That was it. But yes, just to know that this is my daughter, and she has a father that cares about her. Maybe I won't be saying those words, but it's, to know that I'm there. Because I remember I was just saying to Anna, when I was growing up, I never met anyone's parents. And I had girlfriends and stuff like that. And we were doing our thing outside of school and here and there and cutting school and all that. I never knew any of their parents. It's just, at the time, that's great for me as a boy. But now as a parent, that's not the way I want to approach it, and I just want to, she's still, the way I explained it to Anna and the way I explained it to my daughter too, Adriana, is she's still a child. We're still responsible for her. Just like we want to meet her friends and her friends' parents when she's spending the night and stuff like that. It's along the same lines. We want to meet the people that she's involved with, whether it be dating or just friendship. She's starting to stay over friends' houses and stuff like that. I wanted to meet the parents. Anna actually ended up meeting the parents because she took her. But that's what we do as parents. I don't want to be overly involved and overprotective, but I want to at least have had an introduction and maybe a talk with the people that are in her life, because she's still our child and we're still responsible for her.
What's the worst thing that can happen in your mind about this whole thing that you're getting through as a father?
Well, there's worse things than this, but this is, based off, the worst thing is that she gets pregnant. She decides that she's going to, desire meets opportunity, and she gets pregnant. It's not the end of the world. It's something that can be definitely worked through and overcome. But like right now, that's my greatest fear. Apart from something tragic happening, like him being crazy and kills her or something. Like, obviously that would be the worst, but we're talking, generally her getting pregnant, and that's like one of my bigger concerns.
I'm always interested. I guess it's a big debate in the parenting world of, do you plant a seed prematurely? Like, even with you saying one of the worst things that can happen is she can get pregnant. What I mean is, let's say with safe sex and, condoms and, protecting yourself. Some people believe that you shouldn't talk about that because that's only, or even giving them, a condom or whatever. Yeah. Some parents believe that you shouldn't do that because that's letting the kid know that you're in favor of that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have another group of parents that say that is very proactive, and you, like you said, at the end of the day, they have the power. You can't be with them 24/7, but they at least have the tools that's going to protect them if they decide to do that. What do you think about that when it comes to safe sex and condoms with teenagers, that conversation?
I'm with the latter on that as well, because it's going to happen regardless. Maybe not now, but eventually it's going to happen, and we're not going to be there as parents. And if they don't know, again, no one ever talked to me. I was having unprotected sex from my teens all the way through my 20s. No one ever talked to me about this. I don't know if it would have changed the outcome, but no one ever talked to me about this. I'll give you an example. I worked for and this is along the same lines. I worked for a nonprofit running a needle exchange program. Mm-hmm. We gave out clean needles. We gave out tourniquets. We gave out cotton swabs. We basically gave out the kit to shoot up. Part of it did feel like we were encouraging it because we were giving all this stuff out. But the goal of the agency was to prevent the spread of HIV. That was the essential goal of the agency. Addicts who shoot up are going to use regardless, whether you provide them with a clean needle or not. You know my story. I've used a lot of dirty needles. I'm lucky in that I didn't contract anything. No HIV, no hepatitis. I got lucky. That's it. I just got lucky. I didn't contract anything, but I used dirty needles because when you want to get a fix, and that needle's dirty and that person just shot up with it, but you need to get your fix, you're going to use that needle. I went from flushing it with bleach to flushing it with only water to then just using the needle right after the next person. That's just an example.
You pass needles around?
Yes.
When you do drugs?
Yes. So I get that.
So that's how people get it.
Yeah.
Like HIV.
HIV, hepatitis. Yes.
I never knew that. Okay.
Well, good. You learned something. You learned something new. But I give that as an example because at times as I was doing this program, it felt like I was encouraging it. I've been clean for, at that time, probably about 10 years or so, and it felt like I was encouraging it. But the basis of it was to prevent HIV. So take that back to just what we were talking about. If they're going to have sex anyway, eventually, and one of the fears is teenage pregnancy, or one of the like mine is, then equipping them with the proper safety precautions so that doesn't happen, then you're all the better for it. Your child's all the better for it.
Okay, so what if you said your daughter's doing good in school, right? Would you, if you started to see her, whether it be her personality or her grades, she's dating, let's say she's dating this guy or any guy at any age.
Yeah.
And you see her personality declining, you see her grades declining. At what do you think you're going to do at that point? Do you speak with her, or do you speak with him? Do you break it up and separate it? Do you talk to his parents? What happens then?
I don't know at this stage, although me and Anna had briefly discussed this, because Anna talked to her about it. And I don't really know what the outcome was, but Anna was telling me that, with what's going on, that she needs to, her first focus is school. Like, she was laying it out to her that her number one priority is school. She can go out, she can, have her fun, she can, be social and all that, but she has to remember that her first priority is school. I haven't had this discussion with her yet, but Anna has. But I feel the same way. That is her first priority. That is her responsibility. That is her job right now, to do well in school. If it did start to slip, I think first I would probably talk to her about it, see what's going on. Because it could be that, could be something else going on. I don't know. So the first thing I would do is I would talk to her about it. And then from there, I don't know where it would go, depending on what her answers were. Knowing her answers would probably be, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I would talk to her. But yeah, that's been brought up between me and Anna briefly.
Okay, what is your youngest daughter? Does your youngest daughter know anything about this?
About the older daughter?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that she likes another kid?
She knows about that. And yes, she's been telling me over the last several weeks. First, she liked the boy in class, so I'm just seeing it as, okay, it's a little, fourth grade thing. She's only in fourth grade. And then all of a sudden she doesn't like that boy and she likes another boy. She writes him a note. I see all this. She's showing me. She writes him a note. She's going to give it to the boy. I don't say anything. I'd say, okay, let's see how it plays out. I asked her after school, I'm like, did you give this happened a few weeks ago. Did you give the note to the boy? She was like, nah, I decided not to. She's the smart one. She's the smart one in the family, the little one.
Does your youngest daughter, is she like a spy on the older daughter? Like, ooh, dad, such and such, she be talking to him or whatever.
No. She's not like that. But she does put the older one in her place sometimes.
Nice.
She'll get her on something and kind of put her in her place. I've had more time with the little one, more up close, and like I said, during my early part of years, I was there, but I wasn't there. So I missed a lot of crucial time with my oldest daughter. Those early years when you really form that bond and you really, lay the foundation for a relationship. I got that more so with my little one. And as I've stepped up as a father over the last several years, I've tried to, get closer to my oldest daughter and build a stronger relationship with her. But when you don't do that early on, it's definitely affected down the road. And I kind of miss those early crucial years. And I see it. We're close, but we're not that close. And it may have something to do with her just kind of pulling away as a teenager too. Might be a combination of the two.
Do you think it will get closer?
I hope it does. I hope even if it kind of goes further away, that ultimately maybe as she becomes a young woman and she becomes an adult, that maybe she'll come back. I've talked to other women that have kind